for the double seconds. This is the part to yesterday. And so our strumming pattern here for most of the song resembles that calypso strumming pattern that I showed you. You can always go to the Google Drive and find the strumming patterns document if you want to look at those again. That calypso strumming pattern has 16th note strumming pattern on the offbeats. Dot dot, or it was dot 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 dot. For yesterday, it's kind of like half speed, so it's not quite that strumming pattern. But the idea is that you are not playing on the downbeat, and then you're playing 3 equally spaced hits. So da 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 da. There are certain parts where you don't play that. You kind of accent those chord changes that you hear in the song that the guitar is playing. So we're going to work through the A section and the B section. The C section is pretty much the same as the A section, or like half of the A section, but you add on a little tag that slows down at the end. And the whole form of the song is going to go A, B, and then C. But we're just going to take it section at a time. So the most important place to remember where you are is the starting position of your song. The starting position of your song is F and A. And sometimes you might get confused, which A do I play? Which F do I play? And so you can use the starting position to help you figure out where all the other notes are going to be. For this song, you're not going to play any of the notes in the inner circle. Right? We're only playing the ones in the outer circle. Okay? And we look at F and A. And on the music, you see that A is higher than F, right? So on the pan, it means you're going to play an A that is smaller than F. Not the A that's bigger than F, because that's lower, and you would see that lower in the staff. And I know it's kind of hard to see which notes I'm hitting, but hopefully it'll help you find the general area that you're going to be looking for the notes on your pan. And of course, feel free to pause the video after every chord if you want to find it, and then move on to the next one. So the first chord is F and A. Anything higher than this F is going to be a smaller note. Anything lower than this F is going to be a bigger note. So from F and A, that twice, we go over to your left pan, D and E, and then E and A. And now we're playing that low A. So you see on the staff, A is much lower. You need 2 ledger lines below the staff to get there. It's not the A that's the second space in the staff. And it's good to figure it out the first time you go through the song, so you don't have to correct yourself later. But usually octaves are right next to each other, so it's not that big a change. Let's do those first 2 measures again. We go to F and D, and this is the first time we're going to accent some chords that aren't this strumming pattern. So F and D, and then we have 3 accents: F and D, F and C, and then just B flat, before we come back to F and D. So that cadence, and then the next chord is going to be E and C. So just to finish out those 2 measures, I'm going to play those 2 measures. F and D, bum, bum, bum. So your right hand can stay on F this whole time. F and D, F and D, F and C, B flat, F and D, E and C. Go to E and C to finish those 2 measures. So playing from the top that far, F and A, F and A, F and A, E and D, E and A, F and D, da, boom, da, 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 E and C. So hopefully you see how that bum, bum, bum fits in between the strumming pattern, but also hear that part in the song. If you haven't heard the original version of yesterday, I encourage you to take a listen. So we're almost through the A section. Once we get to the end of the second line, that D and B flat to F and A, it's going to repeat again. The exact same thing. So after the E and C we just played, we're going to go to F and C twice. F and C, F and C, back to F and D, F and D and G. And we're playing this low G, big G, before we break from the strumming pattern again. So those new chords, F and, ooh, yep, F and C, F and C, F and C, F and D, D and G. Then we have D and B flat, F and A. The same one that we started with. Yesterday. And that's the A section. You just have to play that twice. So I'll go slow and you can try and play along with me. You can slow down the video if you want, or speed up the video if you need. But from the beginning, our starting point, F and A. The outside F, of course, and the smaller A. Okay, that was almost tempo, but if you want, you can slow down the video too. So after the A section, you play that twice. Then you get to the B section. And I wanted everybody to have an opportunity to play some rolls. And so you have one at the end of the A section when you do the D and B flat to F and A. But B, it starts out on a roll. And for double seconds, it's a little different because one hand is going to be rolling on one note, the other hand on another note. You don't get to roll both hands on one note like the tenors often do. And so that's a skill we can get used to as well. So you're going to start with G and E, but this time it's the higher G. Rolling that for two beats. And then E and A. So your left hand gets to stay on E. And then we're going to start back with the strumming pattern. We go to F and A. So E and G, E and A, F and D. From F and D, we go to D and B flat, B flat and G, and we're using a low G now. E and C. Now F and A, but this time the low A. And so there are mostly quick chord changes. You almost get only half a measure for each of them. But that's kind of it for B, let's see. Okay, almost. The end is a little bit different the second time through. So let's do that first time through. G and E. E and A. So your left hand stays on E. Then we're going to F and D. D and B flat. B flat and G. up until E and C, at least one of your hands stays for each of those chords before. And we end on F and A, but low A. The second time we do B, we're rolling on G and E again, rolling on E and A again, F and D same, D and B flat same, B flat and G same, E and C same. Now you're rolling on F and C. So roll on F and C for 4 beats instead of going to F and low A. And that's the B section. So when you're comfortable, take it 1 measure at a time, 2 measures at a time, 1 chord at a time, however slow you need to go. You can even pause the videos when I'm showing you those chords so you know where on the pan you should be looking at. And then think about how you move from chord to chord. Like how are your hands moving? Are you changing the way your body's positioned? Are your feet moving over to help you get to some notes? There's a kind of choreography of finding your notes and your sticking. And the more pans that you have in your instrument, the more extravagant that choreography can get. So keep practicing. Good luck and enjoy yesterday.